have a special guest in the place to be. Brother Hotep, peace to you. Feel free to introduce yourself, brother.
Hotep, true peace. What's going on? This is Jutah Keno Nupu, and it is a wonderful honor from the ancestors that I'm able to sit here with the distinguished brother Shaka and Dutu Kemet, and I definitely greet you with true peace. And it's no coincidence that we ended up being in each other's company, because the funny thing is, another guy that I deal with that's on this same type of thing, but he on Young Pharaoh and all that, he goes by Remiel Ma'at, and he has Ma'at in his name, and then I end up meeting you, and you got Ma'at in your name, and just to let you know, Jutah is two names put together. Ju is short for justice, and then Ta is just it's a revolved form of Ta of our ancestors, or Ptah, depending on how they say it. Also, in Noon Science, the planet, which is a sun, actually, Jupiter, is also was called Ma'at in ancient times, and on the Temple of Dendera is called Horus. So you get down here, you keep going. Now we talk about the planet. So we finna jump down here in the temple and stuff where they talk about the Dendera, because we already know that all this is about the planets and things like that. So you get down here, look at this. This is in the Dendera temple, Saturn on the ceiling of the temple of Dendera. See? When you look in the Dendera, these are the planets. This is Saturn the bull. Because the ancients knew that the planets were the gods. Look at this. Horus. Jupiter on the ceiling of the temple of Dendera. Private image. See, Afro knew what he was talking about, because the orbs was telling him. Jupiter was telling him the same stuff. That's why he wrote it. And this is where I was able to find it at. So this is Jupiter. Beautiful. Look at this. Another Horus. Who is this? Mars. On the ceiling of the temple of Dendera. Look at that. Y'all got to get it together. Look at that. It's beautiful. Look at that. A double-headed person. A headed. Who is this? See, Venus on the ceiling of the temple of Dendera. These are planets. You know what this is called? It's called anthropomorphism. When the ancients personified these orbs into human or animal-like figures, but this also represent them and the fact that they incarnated spiritually into people. Look at this. Who is this? Mercury on the ceiling of the temple of Dendera. Look at that. Beautiful. And I think all the 5 stars represent planets too, when you get into digging into this stuff. Is this the last one? Mars on the ceiling of the temple of Esna. Private message, see? And all that stuff. So I'm definitely, so this is just another way to say Ma'at as well, Jutah. Just so people would know that. And so I'm ready to get it in. And Oh yeah, I'm gonna definitely holler at you in the behind the scenes. I want to know, can you make the fitted hats a certain kind of way? Like if I want other types of glyphs on it, could you do that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, we're planning on even doing custom names. I'm sorry.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
But we're gonna have several other deities names. You know, we started with Ma'at really, and Amen Ra.
Right.
But you know, we're gonna have some more. You know, but the people have to, you know, play their part, because you know it's already so much that we have done in such a short amount of time.
Right.
And a lot of people say they're waiting, you know, to get paid. So you know, like in a couple of days, it'll be the first of the month, and we'll see. You know.
Yes. Good. So I'm definitely gonna hook you up.
As a matter of fact.
Okay.
People may have seen that already, but I've received my shirts to the mail. I made a short video about it. I've received them today, so okay, I'm gonna have to move the thing.
Because I think I seen you post that video up too.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay, yeah, so we can see the shirts without the green screen. Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, so that's definitely what I want to do. Definitely bring some business your way and get some custom made shirts and hats to go along with that. Just to show some love. Yeah, that's what's up. That black and gold right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Back. Yes, brother. So let me see who's in the place to be.
All right.
Now, Wab Funk has rejoined. I don't know why people become supporters, then they cancel, then they rejoin again. I don't know why, but you know, it is what it is. Right. But many people do not. You know, I don't know. But Andrew Abrine is in the place to be. Young Hero is in the place to be.
True peace, Young Hero. True peace to the chat.
We have Sopo Noon Science Questions and Answers is in the place to be. Storm is in the place to be.
Yeah, that's
Daniel
me.
Williams.
That's my YouTube. That's me.
That one? Oh, okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. And Storm is in the place to be. Donnie Williams is in the place to be. Oh, he says he needs his name in the Mother Nature. Well, we'll see about that. I mean, you know, anything's possible. You know, we started easy. You know, we have already so much, you know. So, Facts Over Personality also is in the place to be. All right. Well, brother, how do you want to do this, brother? Do you have some receipts for us? Do you want me to open the lines first? I mean, you know, how you want to go?
Because we never got finished with the with Alexis K. Tyler and
well, we can go there if you want to.
And the Phil Valentine. I mean, it did, like I said, depends on how you want to do it or you want to build.
Oh, well, and any way you want, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, if you have some stuff prepared, then feel free, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We have time, yeah.
So we'll go with the because remember I was telling you about the Queen of Four.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm listening. I was just laughing because things you told me surprised me.
Yeah, when she had described her what she seen up front. And like I said, when I was at the Brooklyn festival, I witnessed it myself. You know, a bunch of females, you know, running around with each other. It's one thing, you know, you could tell the difference when it's just a bunch of women or sisters together and they being sisterly in a certain place. But then you can see that then you can see the undertone of feminism, and then you can see the undertone of, you know, some of them you could tell they didn't have more closeness than what it was. And again, so it's like you can't build a woman thing without the man. And that's exactly what Queen of Four situation looks like in person. In a book and all of that, it's no different than Black Lives Matter. You only aiming at a particular point. You got to include both. You can't sit here and say, "Oh, the womb," and really the problem is, and I jump to it. It's not really the womb being wounded or the penis being wounded, more as the person's inner self being wounded. You know, from childhood traumas and slavery and all these different attacks. That's a psychological thing. So them talking about the womb, that's just, you know, those are negative sex forces that just keep people thinking about the vagina all the time, because that's all you saying. You just using a more a more clean word womb, but the womb is just a piece of meat in an opening that a child comes out. It's not like the womb or the meat itself is conscious. It's part of the body. But, you know, again, it's all part of, because she stole that material is why it comes off like that. The same way the guys who stole the Matrix movie from Sophia Stewart, and they couldn't really explain because they didn't come up with it, and they got further and further away from what she originally wrote it. So, you know, the wounded woman, all this stuff, because she didn't come up with that, is why it comes off like that. And then because it's made in the nature of the face, which is her, and because Queen of Four plays both sides of the fence, then this is why I seen what I seen in the followers. It's simple and plain. You know, if you the leader of something, it's like you know, whatever you are, you put it into your creation, and that's what comes out. Like America, everything is transgender and homosexual, drag queens, and this and that. That's because these laws were made in the nature of that race, and so it perpetuates within their politics and their laws and rules, etc. So let me get to that. We'll start with Alexis giving her experience from what she was saying. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen.
All right.
Consciousness. All right, so it's gonna play just a little bit. It got a little length on it, not too long. So I just try to bear with me. I just don't want to, because the whole video is like 40-something minutes, but I cut it in half to like 20. So I'm gonna just let her talk. Can y'all see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, so if you need to stop me at any time, just let me know.
No problem.
Okay.
Heard some bad things about her. You've never done business with her. You were never going to do business with her, especially while you were doing business with me. Now, if you poison me, all of a sudden, I need to go to her to save my fucking life. Like, what kind of shit is that? Nobody can save my life but me, my ancestors, and God. Not another human being. I would never get on my knees to beg a woman to save my life, especially if you're not a medical doctor. You don't have the cure. You're not a surgeon. You can't do anything in the medical arena to save my life. Why, or spiritually save my life? Why would you tell me that I need to go to her after you fucking poisoned me, and now tell me I have to get on my knees to her for her to save my life when you gave me the fucking poison? Oh, well, did you get it from her? I don't. That's the kind of shit that I had to deal with. But prior to me, them sending him to me, now I know they're all together. They sent him to me when they.
What she's speaking about is a guy named he had some herbs and stuff he was selling from off the West Coast called D Herbs, and
Jyoti Mahara.
Right, and he poisoned Alexis with his. He was giving her his herbs, but he was mixing it up a certain way to poison her to make her sick, and then was telling her she need to go to Queen of Four to heal her. See, they got all these different arms and tentacles within the organization that they send at certain people, and they tried to rope her in. Okay, so she's the one. Of course, you've been around long enough. She had vagina power when she was coming up way back in 2000.
I remember.
Right. And then Phil Valentine and making claims that he was actually writing philosophical stuff dealing with the womb. So Queen of Four took from both of them and concocted that book, which is a bestseller now because of both of those two individuals. So I just wanted to put some context to who she's talking about.
They were bad mouthing me and finding other opportunities for me. I went to New York, and Queen of Four's son knew that I was coming. He had already met me in Atlanta. He said that he was going to be there with me at my event. He came to the house that I was staying at. It was basically this woman, I don't know if she was Jamaican or West Indian. I was stupid back then and naive, for listening to people and believing people that send me emails and, I love you. I'm a fan. I want to help you. This is what they did. I think it was Bed-Stuy, New York. I would really love to bring you here. I don't know why you're not as bigger and mainstream as you should be. Can you hear me? Okay. I don't know why you're not as big as you should be. I mean, now, as you know, I know why I'm not. I know why I wasn't in that arena.
You need me to stop? What's up?
Yeah. Thank you. I just want to say, I mean, that's, according to her. I don't know Joe Timara personally, but I did speak to him once on the phone, and I think we shared a few emails. And that's when he was the herbs, and then he had the hair store, and I think now it's another name, and like probably Joe Timara or something like that. And I personally don't see him poisoning somebody, but if that's what she claims, that's what she claims. So I just want to, but feel free.
She was saying, she was getting her stuff directly from him, not the store. So they had.
I get it. I remember she had a video. She was all swollen, and she said it was because of the product. I actually forgot that, but now it comes back to me. So many things happened over the years. Yeah,
that's what she was saying because she was getting it directly from him, and he was working for Queen of Four. That's what the whole thing is about. So whenever your audience get a chance, they can just go and listen to the whole thing in total. But I just clipped what I needed to get.
Yeah, of course.
Make the point. All right.
Of course. Yes.
Okay. Let me go back.
And I know it's never going to happen in that arena. And then she said, I love you. I have a group of people that love you. We're willing to pay to bring you here. You can stay with me. In New York, we're going to set up your event. I know people in the entertainment industry, and she had started contacting different people to say I was going to be there. And some of the people started, they actually showed up. They did my makeup for me. They did an interview for me, and some of the mainstream people that were mainstream media at the time in 2010. And I came up to stay at her apartment, and then she said, oh, I have a production crew. They love you too. I told them about you. They're gonna tape your event, which was the metaphysics of sex, and Alexis K. Tyler, vagina power, penis power, sperm power. They're going to tape all that for you for free, and it's going to be the latest technology, state of the art, and it was absolutely beautiful. I don't have the tape, Sister Nova. I've never seen it again because they let me see it, and then they stole it from me. I had my YouTube channel with a sample of it. They had my YouTube channel taken down, basically trying to erase any evidence of what they had done to me. Okay, so I got there, Supernova, Queen of Four's son. He came over to the house. He was with me at the event. Actually, sometimes I go into trance. I was in trance. He was right there. Everybody saw him with me, holding me, taking me out of the event. Because I when I go into trance, I literally pass out. And I thought he was my friend. I thought he loved me. And then I found out the guys who taped it were blood gang members. He said he works to bring, he's a gang member as well. I think he said he was a blood gang member, but
Wellness salute. Cheers. This is scoop of the mega greens, concentrated plant proteins, and the some lemon and water. So wellness warrior salute. Y'all know when I have my flag on, I'm a little more fired up than usual. It's not a rag for me. It's flag. Rag form is I'm banging. I'm not a banger, I'm a builder. So it's in flag form.
he works with Bloods and Crips the same way, that Nipsey Hussle was doing. I didn't know they were under Nipsey Hussle at the time, working them. And, Nipsey Hussle was at Lauren London. And now I see that Lauren London is a student of Queen of Four, along with Erykah Badu. A lot of other entertainers are up under this woman, and they worship this woman. I didn't know, all of that, and how they have entertainers and actors, dancers, and singers all up under handlers and spiritual gurus and preachers and mega preachers and evangelists that take the Baphomet oath, and they are Masons and Eastern Stars, and the Eastern Stars are female Mason, and they control religion, law, politics, and inside those circles is always something sexual with boys, sex with men, sex with women. The preachers involved in the orgies, the preachers' wives are involved in the orgies, and these are the leaders that they appoint over over all of the entertainers, as well as they control and run the gangs. So I didn't realize that that's what was going on, Sister Nova, at the time. And that's who, I didn't realize how much danger I was in, thinking this young man was my friend and protecting me. I didn't know that he was being handled by his mother and then put around to handle me. And when he was there, I did the event. I went out in trance. They took me outside to give me fresh air and pour water on me. And when I became conscious again, I went back in to finish up. I did the question and answer that was on tape. I went back to the young lady's house. That was from the islands, I think Jamaican or something like that. And the gang members had my tape. And I saw that they were talking to Supernova at my event. You could tell they knew each other, but he's trying to act like he didn't know him. Okay. We got home, got to her house. And then I said, put the gang member, he called himself Lex Luthor. I think like the guy from one of the comic book series. I don't know if that's Batman, Superman, whatever. And people are saying, Alexis, you should have looked at the name Lex Luthor and you should have known not to trust this person. You know, it's always the victim's fault, right? It's my fault. So I'm like, okay, I don't know anything about the character Lex Luthor. But she put him on the phone and I said, I'm getting ready to leave New York to go to Atlanta tomorrow. Can I please have my footage? Even though you wanted to give it to me for free, I made money from selling tickets in my event. I'll pay you. It's okay. What's the cost? He then says, I don't want your money. I'm not going to sell it to you. This is what I want to do. I'm going to give it to you, give you a copy. You're going to go to Atlanta and you're going to sell it every month. And then you're going to send me a payment every month of 40% and you keep 60%. And I said, no, I'm not interested in doing that. I own the trademarks and the copyrights to the information inside of the footage. Even though you own the footage at this time, you told me it was mine. Now you're saying it's not mine. And
just so you know, if anybody may be confused a little bit, she's talking about when she came to New York, Queen of Fordham paid for her to come to New York, and she was going to teach on vagina power because that's what made her famous when she was on Facebook years ago and YouTube, and that was becoming hot. And so what they did was they taped everything and then they stole her material and threatened her with the bloods for her not to be able to get anything off of, because she wouldn't settle for, I think they were saying 60-40, whatever it was, because she didn't want to give them a percentage of something that she made and all that on her own. They was trying to extort her. So this is why her and Queen of Fool and all of them fell out, because of they was trying to take over her work, basically let her pretty much like ghostwrite her own stuff, but they make the money off of it, which is like in the reverse. So that's what she's telling the story, how Queen of Four was trying to extort her from her works.
And you want to own it, but now we both own it. You own 40%, I own 60%. And I'm telling you, I'm not interested in that. It's my material. I wrote it. You know, the spirit gave it to me. It comes from my talent. It comes from within me. How do I look? Nobody wrote, directed, and produced that but me. Why would I now split it with you? And that wasn't the agreement. I'll buy it from you. He's like, I'm not selling it to you. So since you don't want to do a 60-40 split, you're not getting it at all. And I said, that's fine with me, because I guess you thought I was dumb because I have a country accent. But I already know that because I own the federal copyrights and trademarks, you can't sell it to any store. Blockbuster, you can't. And if you go to 125th and sell it, somebody, because it was a lot of people from New York that loved me, that was at my event, almost like 200 people. They knew about it and they started to let him know, if we see you sell it, we're going to buy it and give it to her so that she can get a lawyer and go to court and sue you because you stole her footage. And everybody knows that that's hers. Nobody came up with vagina power, penis power, and sperm power before Alexis or after Alexis. Y'all stole her shit. And so they didn't sell it on 125th. They just basically held it in private. When they couldn't blackmail me and give it to me, I then started shopping around for lawyers in New York. And what I realized was, like, the lawyers were telling me, you have a good case, but if you can't find out where this person lives, they changed their address. The people that knew him, even the girl I was staying with, acted like she didn't know anything about it. But Sister Nova, she wouldn't give me the man's address. She wouldn't give me his legal name. I had to find a legal name with someone else's help, but then he was changing addresses. So I couldn't get a lawyer in Atlanta or New York to serve him. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I had no address to serve a subpoena. And they deliberately, everybody got together after what he had done to me and refused to help me get a address or tell me where this person was. It's like they thought, and these were all conscious community people, so righteous, so upstanding. They thought that that was the right thing to do. They were laughing. It was even grown-ass men that's supposed to be so spiritual and strong laughing. And I saw in blogs, well, this is Alexis's fight. Stay out of it. Let her figure out how to get herself out of it. Now, Sister Noble, you know and I know, if there's no man that I'm married to inside of that conscious community, or screwing or dating, if I don't have a mother or father inside of that that's respected, if I don't have any gang leaders or gang members that have any clout or that are respected, that can create a sit down, they knew that me by myself, I was not going to get my stuff back. So that tells me it was a conspiracy. And it wasn't a false conspiracy, because you see still the result. I still don't, that happened in 2010, the beginning of 2010, as we're going into the spring. I still never got my footage back, nor have I seen the footage released on the street. So Supernova knew what was going on, his brother Ali. So I know his mother knew what was going on. It was very public. It was all over the internet. I was doing interviews about it. I called him. I called Supernova. I was on the phone. His brother got on the phone, and I asked, could he help me? And his brother jumped in and said, look, we don't have anything to do with that. So what your stuff got stole up here in New York? We're just going to sit back and watch you deal with it. We're not in it. We're not going to get in it. That's your problem on your own. Just like that. And when I saw on Facebook, another woman that studied gang culture was involved in it, told me to look. She said, do you see here how once you've exposed them on Facebook, Lex Luthor, there was an Asian guy, a couple of black guys, they were in it, and the same girl whose house I stayed in, she stopped speaking to me. She stole merchandise from me, clothes from me, refused to mail me my clothes. When they were questioned about it, they pulled the shade down on the profile page on Facebook. And the lady said, would you go to Supernova's page? When I went to Supernova's page, he had pulled the shade down on his profile, just like them, the same page, in the same position, the same dates, to show solidarity with these men that had done this to me, refused to speak to me, refused to get involved in it, and refused to tell me how to handle it or who to speak to resolve it. They knew that was my footage. To this day, nobody has ever come up with vagina power, spiritual sexuality since 2010. We're in 2021. Nobody has a copyright on that. Nobody has a trademark on that, which tells me that they meant to do that to me. So right after that, Queen of Fool comes out with a book when my footage is missing on the metaphysics of sex and vagina power. She then comes out with a book like a month later, or like maybe within a few days or a week later, Sister Noble, called Healing the Wounded Vagina. She never even used the word vagina. She used womb or sacred womb. Now all of a sudden you're using the word vagina. You can Google it if you think I'm lying. It came out in 2010.
Tasha K broke this the other day, and I'm so glad she did. I shared the video because it's basically confirmation of what I said about Brother Polite, his crew, Afua, Puma, Baby Mama, all these people tied into the conscious community and the gang banging, the Bloods, the Crips, other other gangs, to the Nipsey Hussle assassination, murder, and the conspiracy and the plotting of it. What bothered me the other day is that Polite said that all of y'all, including Nipsey's parents, wanted to say when Nipsey got shot in the head that it was for God's will, and when Kobe Bryant got killed in the helicopter that it was God's will. So when you're talking about Nipsey Hussle and Kobe Bryant, their deaths were for God's will. He said, but when something happens to him, people are saying that that's what he gets and he deserves it. And it made me confirm what I said before. I knew he was there when Nipsey Hussle was assassinated. I knew that he was a part of the circle and the organizations that were tied to people involved in the assassination and the conspiracy of the assassination of Nipsey Hussle. There are a lot of different groups running together. And a lot of those are from the conscious community and from New York. The spiritual teacher of Puma, Baby Mama, Cross's mother, is also the female leader of FUA from New York City with her son. And Polite has said that that is his godmother, and he is a high-ranking gang member general and murderer who has been to prison for murder and gangbanging, who said that Queen Afua is his godmother and that he will do anything for her. He watches over her along with the other gang members. That's why a lot of people fear them, and when they do dirty shit, people are afraid to tell us. And when they did that to me, as I told you in 2010, when I went to New York, I was lured to New York City to do a lecture, The Metaphysics of Sex. I was with Abua's son, who was right there the whole time, and at the house where I was staying at. They then set me up, as I said, enemies in common, took my footage that belonged to me that I tried to pay for, refused to pay for it, refused to take my money, and then told me, and this was a blood gang member who was also friends with them and in the same clique, said they would murder me and have my son murdered if I came back to New York and went to court.
It's in my life like that. Now, in some other black people's lives, he would be that high. That's how it appears from their position. After being empowered, when you are empowered, people like them start looking a little smaller. They don't look that great. You understand? So I'm just saying it's different levels of consciousness. I understand.
Now look who Polite sitting with. This is why I put this clip in here.
From his position, what he means and represents, and he may not even be speaking for himself. He may be speaking for the brother or sister out here that's lost. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to throw a shot at him directly. I'm just making it clear that it's.
Look at the pedophile Dr. York over there to his right, being held up by one of his workers. Look at Dr. York picture right there.
Mm-hmm.
Big ass picture. You see it?
You see it? Yeah.
Our level of consciousness is our level of consciousness. So the level of consciousness that I'm coming into, I dare to say it's a higher frequency, and thus the focal point may be compromising the integrity of what he's trying to project by the time he gets into another generation. When my brother here talks about white supremacy, right? I say to my generation, white supremacy rarely exists. Many people in my generation don't bear witness to it, including myself. I wasn't there for the dogs to hose us down. I wasn't there to be raped or castrated. And shit, even when I watch the news, I have to wonder how much of this is propaganda. Even when they show me quarterly every 3 months, someone was gunned down 15, 20 times.
Women to speak to the Crips and the Bloods.
I remember that.
About 350, 400 young people in our center.
I remember that.
Out in and outside.
How?
And that was the beginning. He prepared them. He put myself, Supernova Islam, Hip Hop Medicine Man, prepared them and brought out the Village papers and set up the division. So when we were introduced, when the brothers primarily were being introduced, it was the murder, this one, and the names started showing up. But who were they murdering? Each other. Us. So we're saying, yes, we know the white supremacy because this building at Clayton Powell, we didn't put these bricks up.
No, we didn't.
We're not making money from this.
No, we're not.
So that would be classified as white supremacy. But when I look at a white-looking woman, I don't look at her as more superior than me because I'm the very foundation of everything.
You know what I'm saying? We don't always have to agree. This is what we do when we love each other. Families fight all the time.
That's right.
So I just want that to be clear.
Just let it be known that the premise of this whole thing, as far as we're concerned, if we provided more services for our community, if we provided more services for our community would be able to trust each other. If, when I go to school to be educated, they're white. If when I have to have my wife deliver her child, the people in the hospital are white. If when I have to go buy food, the people making the food are white. If every time I need a service, I have to go to another race, eventually I can't trust you because my way of life is predicated upon getting services from people who don't look like you.
Look, I put this together. Now look how this dude look. The gang member. This is Queen Afua's son. Look at this. Look at this dude. Look at this.
Ali presents Back in the Day, starring Kimi Casanova. Right on, baby. Right on.
I can take you far, baby.
You are now tuned in to the Soft
You ever seen him dressed like this before?
Mac Daddy, let me get it started. Talk my shit better. Fat nigga on a fraternity. I'm a big stepper. I'm plain Jane. All y'all rock is designer. Bitches throw pussies at me. All I rock is vaginas. I just be laid back. All I got is recliners. I wouldn't join the Navy shit. All I got is Rihanna. You jive turkeys is frivolous. I
just threw that in there just so they can see how silly it look. But these people really are, this is who they really are. When you start looking at that, you wearing gang colors, you got all these tattoos, you got a lot of Egyptian characters and stuff on his neck. Just ridiculous. Like, you can't mix the two. You know what I'm saying? But because they allow this though. They allow this type of foolishness. But you had anything you wanted to say before we move on?
But I was surprised when he was speaking, like the first time he was on the screen, like, because I used to see him like way back when he had the red and blue bandanas, you know what I'm saying, where he would carry the ankh, you know what I'm saying. Then I saw he was into music. He had a clip, you know, he had a music video like Nicki Minaj and all that. I mean, nothing wrong with doing music. And then I saw that he went to the army, but the way it looked like recently, like, you know, it's different, you know what I'm saying?
He used to have hair. He started losing his hair.
Well, I guess he's in his 50s, you know, so, you know, a lot of time people will shave their head when they get that age. But the whole vibe, the whole, you know, like you know, it's not even V-neck. It was like all the way in like that. And I don't know, but I'm not making any accusation. It was just a surprise. You know?
Yeah, he's dressing like Prince. That's how he look. Looking like Prince with those sweet looking attire. There ain't no man, no real man wear that. That's not masculine. Prince with those sweet looking attire. There ain't no man, no real man wear that. That's not masculine. But this is what Alexis K. Tyler was saying, that he played both sides with men and women. And she also said in other clips that Queen Afua on the low is a witch. She plays into the occult and they do magic and stuff on each other. This is facts. If you playing around in Hollywood, everybody knows those people is into the occult, whether it's Hollywood, the music industry, all that stuff is wickedness. So them being all around each other, again, all you got to do is look, and you can tell that's what's going on, that they are into that stuff heavy. And she's you know, she has psychic abilities. I watched a lot of stuff. She does be in contact with spirits and certain people's spirits and stuff like that. And she
Alexis or Queen Afua?
Yeah, Alexis. And she said that, you know, Nipsey came to her a couple of times and said that he was murdered. I did a couple of videos on my Agenda 21 when I was following the money, and showed how a lot of those billionaires from Russia was buying up all these sports teams in America. And when they was doing that New York Knicks thing up there in New York, Jay-Z was instrumental in getting that whole thing done that way, and all the people got pushed out from that area because it drove up the property price and stuff, and they had that big old thing over there. They couldn't afford that, and he was lying in the beginning, and it was a whole bunch of mess with it. But when Nipsey died, Jay-Z did a freestyle. I don't know if you remember that. And
I didn't know that fact.
Yeah, he did a freestyle, and I broke the whole rap down, and you could tell in the lyrics he was basically saying how he was telling Nipsey we was finna make a whole bunch of money, like 100 mil, just lay low, da da da. And he was like, "Oh, I didn't know they was gonna kill Nipsey," because I understand what Jay-Z them is involved in. I seen it was a cryptic message within what he said.